This is a video for how to go about finding the physical properties of a sketch and the physical properties of a solid in Fusion 360. Now, before I start, you're going to notice I went ahead and just created just a normal file. Here, I'm just going to go click Save, and I'm just going to call this Physical Properties. And I'm going to say Save. So physical properties, I have it saved now, and we actually have it a name. It's always kind of good to go in when you first initially start any part and give it a name before you start making any kind of lines or any kind of features. Before we go in, we want to go to Document Settings, and we want to set our units at inches. So we can click on this little pencil right here, and we can change our primary units to whatever we want. We're just going to go ahead and stay in inches. I have defaulted that 2 inches within Fusion 360. So we're going to go ahead and click on Create Sketch. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on this plane. And we're going to go into the line command. And when I go into the line command, we're just going to draw for ourselves a basic horizontal line from the origin. So I'm going to click on the origin and drag to the right. And you're going to notice it says 3.5. I'm just going to go with 3, and I'm going to hit Tab. And you're going to notice it's going to stay at 0. We're going to keep it at 0 since it's a horizontal line. And we're going to hit Enter twice. And it's going to go ahead and give us a horizontal line that's a distance of 3. I'm going to hit L on my keyboard as a shortcut, and I'm going to click on the end point of our horizontal line, and I'm going to drag. I'm just going to drag up to the left here, and I'm going to say, you want to know what? Let's go a distance of 2.5, and I'm going to hit Tab and an angle of 135 degrees, and I'm going to hit Enter. I'm going to hit L again on my keyboard, and I'm going to close off this triangular shape. I'm going to hit Escape twice on my keyboard to get out, and you're going to notice that automatically Fusion's going to identify this as a surface, that it's a closed sketch, and that means that each one of these corners, the lines touch. If by chance these lines did not touch, you do not have a closed sketch. And we're going to go up to Inspect and just click on our little ruler up here, and inside of our triangle, it's going to automatically give us the area and the loop length. It's also going to give us the option of choosing secondary units. So if I said I'm in inches and I want this in meters, it'll automatically give us the area in square meters and the distance in meters. Remember, closed loop length is as if this was a neighborhood and we jogged around the block. And how far did we jog? I always kind of use that analogy. That's what loop length means. So if we want to actually find out the area of this and really any units that we want, they give you, 5 primary units here, but those are the basic units that we would use in any kind of an engineering class. We're going to go ahead and say close. And we're going to go to finish sketch. And I'm going to go to an isometric view, and we're going to click on extrude. And I'm just going to drag my extrusion out. And the distance really doesn't matter for the sake of this video. What we will do is just go ahead and say 1.5. So I'm just going to say 1.5. We're going to keep it at a new body. And when we say new body, you're going to see bodies show up over here, and we're going to say OK. And what that means is, this is a solid in and of itself. If we wanted to edit the sketch, we could edit the sketch here. If we want to edit the body, we can edit the body there. So we need to go ahead and create this part and make it out of a material. So we're going to go to Modify, and we're going to go down to Physical Material. And you're going to get a brand new menu show up on the right side of your screen. And there's all different types of options that they give you in Fusion 360. And we're going to go down, and I'm going to choose to make this out of cherry wood. And I'm going to click and drag and just drop cherry wood onto the object. You're going to notice now we have a visual appearance of cherry wood, but we also get the physical properties of cherry wood when we go in and look at this. So I want to find out what the mass of this is now. I want to find out what the total surface area of the whole entire three-dimensional object is. And what we're going to do is we're just going to right-click on physical properties up here. Just going to right-click, me escape and get out of that real quick. I'm going to right-click up here, and we're going to go down to properties. And properties is going to show up. And you're going to see that we get the total surface area of the total part. We get the weight density in ounces per cubic inch. We get the mass of the object and the full volume of the object. And we could go back in and change the physical properties by going up to Modify and choosing a different material. But it's automatically going to give us all the physical properties that we need to do some calculations of this part. If we need to go in and edit anything, we can go back and make the initial sketch a little smaller. We can maybe try to find a different kind of wood that's just maybe has similar strength characteristics and visual characteristics, but is not quite as heavy. We could research into that. Also, you're going to notice that it gives us the center of gravity, and it also gives us the geometric center of the object where we started, which we started at 0. So remember, we started at the origin. So basically, if we were going to go in and 3D print this, its reference point would be at the origin where we started the part, not the center of gravity. We can get into more advanced mechanical issues with this, with the moment of inertia, with center of mass. We can get into a lot of other things. We can also create a description up here of the part. So, so I could just, call this, I don't know, cherry triangle. Whatever you wanted to call it. And those are physical properties. So in making any part in Fusion 360, if you're trying to find the area, you're trying to find how to place, materials onto an object, or you also want to find out the 3D physical materials of a part. That's how you go about doing this in Fusion 360. So it's been a video for how to go about creating an initial sketch, finding the area of that sketch, and finding the physical properties of a solid in Fusion 360.